in any context. Yes? Ah, the blaming the victim aspect of it. Well, yes and no. Done, it can. I mean, how much you think you have control over and how much you blame the victim is both a personal and kind of a cultural thing. Definitely, psychologists have looked at something called the just world hypothesis. And yeah, everybody everywhere that they've tested tends to have either a belief in a just world or a desire that that belief, I mean, the belief in that is important to them. So in sneaky ways, they believe in it even when they're very grouchy and cynical and, you know, saying, terrible world. Yes? Ideally, that's the way the person believing in karma would do it. That is, it's back to the serenity prayer of, look, this is the situation right now. This person is poor. This person is blind. This person, whatever. Okay, whatever it led up to it, and we don't have to get hysterical about it. That's the way it is now. What can that person do with what's there right now, and what can I do to help that person with that whole situation? Yes. Right. Yes, and yeah, we're compassion is we're chugging right along towards the compassion part of the class. Yes. Okay, there, and you're from a culture that believes in karma. See, that's the kind of thing that, in fact, is the stance toward it. And by the way, there's a lot of research that I think we're going to get to in the research on compassion part, that people, they get very upset about situations. There's a line over which you go, if you get too upset, you become helpless to actually help people or do anything, because you have to avoid it, you know, it's just overload. So you get compassion fatigue and things like that. Yes? The causality. That's the flame being lit from candle to candle. There's going to be another answer later in the class, but for now, that's it. Okay. Now, the role of mindfulness in this is being able to be mindful enough that you can see the causality in action right now, and that if you're feeling compassionate, that you know what to do, because you're seeing how things work, or if there's something that you want to change in you, you can see how it works. And the claim here is that without being mindful, that you're probably going to make mistakes, and there's a classic mistake that I want to get to today. So, and this brings us to the technical part. Fortunately, we're going to have a whirlwind tour of it, but it is written step by step in reading 33, if I remember, the first reading for the karma section. Okay, now here's the whole wheel that you've been seeing that you have in your hands. This is samsara. The creature holding it is birth and death, who looks demonic like that old hag, because we don't see his true nature. In the center are the three poisons, and that's the wheel of you're going round and round. The realms are around that, and you see the karmic causality on the rim. And the rim, there are 12 little segments to that rim. Each has a different picture. And we're now going to go whipping through the 12, which you can then read about in more detail, because this is going to show you the place where you can change things and the places where you can't change things, according to this. This is, it's an analysis of a habit, it's talking to the psychologist, in a way that I haven't seen done anywhere else. Okay, from the inside. And there are these 12, coincidentally 12 steps to it, but they're not the same as in 12-step programs. So schematically, that's what it would look like with the things around it, and that's in your reading. So you put that together with your picture. You'll see it all. Okay. The links are called nidanas, and the idea is this is the chain, the cage that holds you, and each link in the chain is a separate nidana. One, ignorance. Okay. The image is of a blind grandmother. That's what that old lady with the stick is supposed to be. And she's ignorant about how things are. She believes samsara is the whole total universe, and the idea of it being a blind grandmother. She's very interested in all the gossip of samsara, all the things that come along that pull you from meditation and say, oh, you have to worry about this and do that. No, I just forgot. No, all of it. And oh, that yummy little happen as soon as I can get out of here. Okay, from that ignorance comes the image of a potter's wheel, or actually a man throwing a pot on the wheel. It's called volitional action, or gets translated as volitional action. The volition, or this is the mistake of thinking that when one acts from the three poisons, passion, aggression, ignorance, that's your free will, but actually that's karmically bound. That isn't freedom. So with that false belief, one is throwing the pot. The first two things are the general, what's happening, and now we'll see what happens when you click into throwing the pot. The third one, consciousness, pictured as a monkey. Now, you're ahead of most people that see this thing. You know what consciousness means here, because we've just sent 2 lectures, and we've had readings and everything. Consciousness is this whole thing, life in the realms. And it came up through, well, we had the whole description of how you get into consciousness in this meaning. So notice in your readings, okay, this is an answer to a question that a number of people have asked, that you'll have readings that say be very mindful reasons, and you'll have readings that say don't be conscious. What it means is don't be conscious in this sense of being caught up in the realms, be mindful instead. And as I said before, what being mindful is going to mean, it will change as the picture of what wisdom is changes. Okay, now you're being born into consciousness. The next thing that happens is that your whole psychophysical complex is born, pictured as a man in a boat. The man is the mind, the boat is the body. You have a different body. We'll also talk about this later, depending on the way that moment to moment you're born. You know, it feels different at different times, and people can have allergies sometimes and not other times, and the whole thing. And you've got both the body and mind because we're in the realms in consciousness. You have a mind and a body. Aha, the six senses, pictured as a house with windows. What else? And what do the senses do? Okay, the next one is contact, pictured as a man and a woman doing their thing, embracing. There they are in your wheel in the bed. And that's, now again, you have the background to know what this means. The senses are what? Subject, object, and what do they do? Subject meets object. Okay, couple embracing. You are now looking around with your eyes at something or other. The couple embracing. Okay, we're getting to the hot place feeling, pictured as a man with an arrow through his eye. Contact between the subject and object of the senses. You're struck. Okay, this and the next one are these crucial points. For an instant, ignorance is penetrated. There's a moment of realness. You're running around the campus doing the thing you have to do next, and you come around the corner, and suddenly there's a rhododendron bush in flower. Oh. Okay, struck. Or suddenly you step into dog doo-doo. Okay, struck. Can you stop at this point and hold? Well, probably not, because not yet. Needs a lot of mindfulness. The next thing that happens is craving. And craving can be either good or bad. So, you know, the rhododendron, oh, wow, yeah, I want flowers, yummies, or dog stuff. Why did this happen to me? Yeah. The milk and honey, that may be the original ice cream, and the idea is that it's kind of automatic. You know, you go, 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 go. Just the switch from feeling to craving happens. So the negative is also a craving. Now, what's special is that you have to see this thing happening, the being struck and the craving to start and to stop. You're going to change a habit. And normally we don't catch it here. We hook on to the next one. So pause, hold it, don't do it, don't eat that next glazed potato chip yet. The next one is grasping. In your particular version of this wheel of life, you have a monkey picking fruit. It's often pictured as a mischievous child in an orchard. Okay, namely grasping, you pick it, which becomes, okay, now whatever the karmic effects are, pregnant woman, giving birth of the next situation, crunch, crunch on the chip. Now this is the place where we try to break the wheel, but it's too late. So when you actually see the next thing about to happen or happening, it's in the process of happening, oh, I can't believe I'm doing this again. And I made all those New Year's resolutions, and I was going to do everything on time, and I'm already 2 days late. And then it goes on to decay and death, corpse and funeral, and then it starts all over again. Now the good news is each time something happens, its karmic force is spent. It's done. Again, kind of like physics. It has come to rest. It's your next action that counts. What's just happened does not count in the account. It's done for. So one moment at a time, this fellow can be changed eventually to this one. Now, the contemplative exercise, you could have guessed, is to see if you can catch that moment just once. There's something all of you want to do different. See if you can see how that works. And if you're skeptical about the possible benefits of anything you've heard so far, come on Monday and hear Jennifer's lovely account.
practice.